and this is our second little talk as we have been through now a couple weeks of a very different lifestyle. I have three little stories to share with you today about how we might use this time as a way of seeing God's blessings in a special way. The first one comes from when I was a child. As many kids are, they forget about their toys and leave them outside or other places they're not supposed to be. Well, I remember doing that with a ball that I really liked to play with, and I remember leaving it outside. Well, I'm from Minnesota, and you know how our winters are. There was the ball, the ice and the snow piled up and piled up and piled up, and of course, I was pretty sad about losing my ball. I thought for sure that someone had stolen it. So, come spring, about this time of the year, things begin to melt, snow begins to melt, the ice begins to melt, and all of a sudden, there, under the ice, I saw my ball. And I chopped out the ice, and I took my ball, and I never lost it again. That's my first story. My second story is when I was in high school, I worked for a while in Central America, in Honduras, giving out medical assistance to the poor. And I remember eating very, very simple food. Basically, all we ate every day were rice and beans with a few tortillas every day for lunch and dinner. That was about all we ate. At the end of 3 weeks, I returned to the United States, and my parents took me out to dinner, which of course in the 1960s was really a treat. Those of you who are older remember that we didn't used to go out to eat so often. And they said, you go to any restaurant you want and you can order whatever you want. I remember ordering a steak. I still remember the taste of that steak because it is something I didn't have for those 3 weeks. And I never took for granted again the taste of steak. The third story is somewhat similar to that. Years later, when I was a friar and working in Central America, I was able to go to Guatemala for about 3 months and work with street children. And I remember finding this boy who lived in the garbage dumps of Guatemala. There was a team of us that would go and look for lost children and invite them back to the home where we took care of them. This boy's name was David. When I asked him how old he was, I said, "Oh, you must be about 9 years old." And he said, "No, sir, I'm 12. He was dressed, he looked like a little soldier in army fatigues, dirt covered from head to toe. I remember it took me a while to persuade him to come back with me, but we rode the bus together along with the members of the other team, and I sat and talked to him, and he was a very intelligent young boy. And I remember, he says, "Go take a shower, here's some clean clothes, come back, and I will have dinner ready for you." Very interesting, I sat him down to the same meals that I had had in Honduras, rice, beans, and tortillas. He ate and ate and ate and ate. I was very moved by that. I had never seen anyone so hungry. It changed my way of thinking, and I have never complained about whatever kind of food I've eaten since. It made me not having, first of all, steak, back when I was in high school, not having my ball, and then seeing someone who was so hungry, it made me never take for granted those things again. I think that's one of the greatest blessings that we can learn during this time of the coronavirus. So many things that we think are so important have been taken away. But if we think about it, it also, like when that ice was melting, it revealed my ball. This is also a time when all these other things are taken away, when so many other blessings in our lives can be revealed. For example, I'm sure some of you are enjoying regular family meals. Not running to McDonald's, not running between sports practices or all the craziness of life, but you're actually sitting down as a family and you're eating together. When was the last time that many of you ate together every night like you're doing now? Perhaps not only are you appreciating one another's company and the fact that your schedule isn't overloaded as it is for so many people today, but you also have that chance to hold hands around the table and say grace and look into each other's eyes and be so grateful for that gift that is so easy for any of us, especially in our ordinarily overly busy lives, we can take for granted. We have, and it's one of the gifts that sometimes we don't feel we have enough of, but I believe God in His goodness is reminding us during this time, we have the gift of time. We live for today. As Jesus says in the gospel, don't worry about what we are to eat and what we are to wear or what we are to drink. Your Heavenly Father knows all of these things. This is the time when we focus on today and the blessings He has given us for today. He has given us enough love, enough grace, enough time together that we simply enjoy the moment. We enjoy each other's company, and hopefully that will lead us as we join at the table to say grace, to join our hands in prayer, and also leads us to a sense of having more time to pray. I've been amazed in this short time how much more time I have now to pray. And there's a certain peace that I feel about having this. In fact, it's made me think a lot about I should be doing this a lot more than I am instead of being so busy all the time. I know that I need in my life more of the presence of God and certainly more time to pray. So in this time that is very different, I encourage you, think about the things that you have now, the blessings that have been uncovered, much like my ball in the snow, and above all, enjoy the presence of family and the presence of God. We conclude today by asking Our Lady of Consolation, who watches over us, that is the Mother of Jesus, who nourished her Son and taught him how to love God, that we look to our parents through the intercession of Our Lady of Consolation and St. Joseph, that all of us might become holier families, pleasing to God.